Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back. Today is another shelf highlight. We're gonna go through one of my shelves. I'm show you the books that I got sitting on that shelf as my sort of way of doing a somewhat library tour. It's a big one today. It's this shelf that you normally see behind me, and it's gonna primarily be a bunch of horror books. There might be some odds and ends mixed in, but mostly it's gonna be horror. So I'm excited, so let's dig right in. Let's look at all my books. And I've not read all of these, of course, because I am who I am. Okay, let's Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a werewolf-ish book. I haven't read it. It's an awesome author photo though. Never really paid attention to that. Such a great cover. I've got the Valancourt book of Victorian Ghost Stories, Volume 5. This was a Nightworms. I think we got a Nightworms package, actually just last year in December. So I didn't get to them last December. Maybe I'll try to this coming December. Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. Y'all know I love me some V. Castro. And I love this book. It's a possession story with some teenage girls. Amazing cover. Always show the spine. It's so cool. And this is like a little book, but it it holds so much goodness. Another V. Castro's Queen of the Cicadas. Just read this one recently. A lot of Mexican, sort of folklore myths woven into this horror story. It was really good. What was this one? The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine. I don't remember what this one's about. Let's see. Identical twins have died in an accident. They move. The parents moved to a tiny Scottish island. Hoping to kind of move on. Then their surviving daughter, Kirsty, claims that they have mistaken her identity, that she is in fact Lydia. Okay, so only one of the twins died. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't remember how long have I had this book. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but The Beauty by Aaliyah Whiteley, another amazing cover. I think this has something to do with fungus, which is like a key. It's like that's a key word for me. If something involves fungus, mushrooms, I'm gonna be reading that. Yeah. Oh yeah, mushrooms growing from the ground where women's bodies lie buried. Why haven't I read this yet? So maybe I need to read that for Horror Mayhem. I want to keep it out. Where am I gonna put these? Oh gosh. I don't know. Alright, another that we got in our Nightworms package. John Bowden's Jedi Summer with the Magnetic Kid. I haven't read this yet. I was going to. I think I had it last year, but didn't ever get to it. Sort of a coming age type of story. Takes place in 1983. Yeah, I heard it's really fantastic. I heard John Bowden's great, but I still haven't read anything by him. And this was a cool Thunderstorm Books edition that came signed and everything, so it's another cute kind of little tiny book, right? Let's see. To Offer Her Pleasure by Allie C. I ordered this right from Allie. You can order from her website, and she'll sign it for you and send you a cool bookmark with it. I haven't read this one yet, but it sounds so cool. It has a shadowy horned figure in it, so yeah. And I have The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling. I think this is a cave horror expedition. She thought she'd be mapping mineral deposits in a cave. It goes from there. I don't know. Sounds good. Sinister Mix by Brian Boyer. This is his short story collection. Really loved it. Another amazing cover. Brian, yeah. Great stories. A more recent purchase, Rain King's The Creek, which also has the story called Husk. Just a slim little thing. Two teenagers find kindred spirits in each other when fate brings them together. Move to an old campground. A darkness that Ruby harbors. I've heard it's really good. Let's see. How We Broke by Bracken McLeod and Paul Michael Anderson. I really liked this story. It's a really short story, but it's really good. Kind of like a ghost story. We've got a pair of siblings that go to a home that was, it was like a family home, and maybe something is still lingering. Family secrets, that whole thing. It was really good. Really good. This was another Thunderstorm, kind of limited. I'm not really sure you can get this anymore, to be honest. Again, we got this in another Nightworms book, so. Another Nightworms is Savage Mountain by John Quick. People go rafting in the Smoky Mountains. Something neat. They get stranded along the banks of the river. Ooh, they run across a group of men growing for the cartels. That ain't gonna end well. Sounds good, though. Javid Lindqvist's Handling the Undead. Anybody read this one? I don't hear many people talk about this one. But, you know, I hadn't read anything by this author. The power grid has gone crazy. Electrical appliances won't stay switched off, and everyone has a blinding headache. That's all I need to know. Todd Kiesling's Scanlines. I haven't read it yet. I think it's good. Merciless by Brian Smith. I think it's kind of a slasher book. Psycho newlyweds. They're true crime junkies. A thirst to know what it feels like to kill for real. Sounds kind of fun. Pretty good cover too. This is from Grindhouse. Let's have The Plague Stones by James Brogden. Another awesome yellow cover. We need more yellow covers, yeah? Let's see. Back garden. There's a standing stone. One of the markers that kept plague sufferers outside the village bounds. Its powers renewed every year in a ritual that seems to be more than just a local oddity. Okay, that sounds cool. Oh, I don't know where I'm gonna put all these books. I'm just gonna make a pile on the floor. All right. Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. This is a really fun slasher. I have read this one before. Really fun slasher. A family goes on a vacation to this like island and murder ensues. It's a lot of fun if you're looking for a fun slasher. Another Nightworms book, Shadow Vista by Charles Colliot and Mark Steensland. Whew. Let's see. Look up, maybe a slasher type book too. It's a short one. One I really loved was Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. I love this one. I love this cover. Every time I look at this cover, I just kind of swoon a little bit. It's so good. I loved this book. I loved that book. Ronald Malfi's Snow. Why have I never read this? I don't know. I'm trying to stop saying that all the time. But, you know, a cold weather setting. This is another Thunderstorm limited run. Basically, stranded passengers, decide to rent a Jeep going through the snowstorm, and they meet someone out there that shouldn't be there. Craig DeLuise' Suffer the Children. I haven't read this one yet, but I it sounds like a fun one. I Am Legend, Richard Matheson. I got the movie tie-in because I picked this up for free, so don't judge me. I haven't read it yet. What does it matter? I haven't read it at all yet. I need to though. Zombie Survival Guide, Max Brooks. I think this one was given to me. And it reads like a survival guide. It goes through like weapons and just stuff like that. It was fun. It's a fun little book. Kill Creek. Yeah, Scott Thomas. I haven't read this either. I know everyone's read this one. Not me. I think it's a haunted house type of story. I think. Next pile. I got a lot of books in this one, sorry. I'm trying to linger too long on each book. Okay, Adam Neville's House of Small Shadows. I've read one other Adam Neville, Last Days. Loved it. And I've not read anything else, but I really want to. I dig him. So there's a house. Maxter, that used to be home to a master taxidermist and puppeteer. Okay. That's all I need to know about that. In the House in the Dark of the Woods by Laird Hunt. I think it's sort of a folk horror story. Set in New England. Maybe I'll pull this one out for Horror Mayhem. It's pretty short. It's a great cover too. Not All Monsters. Oh, I loved this. This is an anthology edited by Sarah Tantlinger. Women in Horror anthology. Fantastic cover. I loved a lot of these stories. A lot of the stories in here. So just really quickly, it's got Joanna Roy, Gigi Silverman, K.P. Kulski, Sam Fleming, Haley Piper, Joanna Koch, all kinds of people. Leslie Wibberley, yeah. Good stuff in here. Really good stuff in there. Anthologies, kind of never know what you're going to get, but that was the good one. I love this book. We've Always Lived in the Castle, Shirley Jackson. I love this cover. Because you just got that kind of wrap around. Oh, I love this book. My favorite Shirley Jackson of the 3 that I read. To me, I like this so much more than Hill House. I just love this book. It's weird and it's unsettling. Mary Cat is just like this character that's just like kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies, I love that book. This is a great book, The Gilda Stories by Jewel Gomez. It's a vampire story. It was written by a black author with black vampires. So it's got a lot kind of historical fiction feel. We start off in kind of the mid 1800s, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, 1850s. Gilda is a runaway enslaved person, and she stumbles upon a brothel, which maybe the brothel owner is a vampire, and we follow her through time, really. And it's really good. It's more of a quiet kind of story, but it's really good, really good, really good. All right. Bunny by Mona Awad. I loved this book. It is my kind of weird about this group of girls in like a master's kind of like a writing program. They all call themselves Bunny, and it's weird. It's a strange one, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot. This one I've heard really great stuff about. I haven't read it yet though. The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. I've heard good stuff, but man, I haven't read it yet. It's got a cool cover. I don't know. The other cool cover is The Devourers by Indra Das. I don't know if this is a YA story. I'm not even really sure. Maybe not. Takes place in India. Traveling musicians. I don't know. This is possibly a bit fantasy too. Cool ass cover though. Anybody read this one? Let me know. I heard about this from somebody. I don't think this is necessarily horror, but I got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Books are falling. I haven't read that yet either. So many books. I've got The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I read this one. I like this one. It's got a really good level of creepiness to it. Kind of haunted house vibes, but haunted motel vibes. Got dual timelines, which I like. Yeah, family secrets. You know, I love that. I like this one. It has a good level of creepiness into it. I've got Haunted North Carolina, Ghosts and Strange Phenomena of the Tar Heel State. You know that I am a North Carolinian, so I picked this up. I think at a thrift store one day I saw it. So I thought that would be fun to read. Maybe go ghost hunting. I've got World War Z by Max Brooks. I love this book. It's just really a lot of fun. It's basically an oral history of a zombie apocalypse, like after the fact, and it is set through basically interviews of people, like what they did during that time all over the globe, and it's so good. I've read this book and I've listened to the audiobook. The audiobook is fantastic. It's a good one. I liked it. I love it actually. Standalone by Paul Michael Anderson. This is a fun book. It's a slasher book, but it's got like sci-fi elements. I don't know. It's a fun one. I liked it. The Sacrifice Box by Martin Stewart. You might read that one? I haven't read it yet. It sounds kind of gnarly though. Summer 1982. 5 friends discover an ancient stone box hidden deep in the woods. Don't open it. Oh, they seal inside of it treasured objects from their childhood and make a vow: never come to the box alone, never open it after dark, and never take back your sacrifice. Oh. Okay, that sounds really good. Another kind of North Carolina book is Tar Heel Ghosts by John Harden. And I think, yeah, The Peg-Legged Ghost from East Morgan Street in Raleigh. That's not too far from me. The Haunted House. Ghost of Mako Station. Is this a train ghost? Oh, sounds fun. You know, fun to read maybe in October, you know, for spooky season. I got a few mass markets kind of tucked into this shelf. I've got some Thomas Harris books, Red Dragon, Hannibal, and Hannibal Rising. I've only read Silence of the Lambs, which I've lost my copy of Silence of the Lambs that I had like a million years ago. I don't know what happened to it, so I need to pick up a new copy so I can have a set, but I don't know. I've got all of these books too, of the Strain series by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. So The Strain, and then The Night Eternal, and The Fall. Is this vampires? I don't know. I didn't watch the show because, of course, I wanted to read the books first. I haven't read the books, though. The Story of My Life. Okay. I got my copy of Dracula, of course. Read this one pretty recently, and it was fine. Glad to have finally read it. Let's see. I don't know if this is horror, but it's Sylvia Plath's Mary Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom. It's just a wee little thing. It's a story written when she was a student in 1952. Tells of a story of a young woman's fateful train journey. So the train made around. Mary Ventura. She noticed on her journey to the Ninth Kingdom. But what is the Ninth Kingdom? It is the kingdom of the frozen will. There is no going back. Okay. Sounds intriguing. I've got a really ugly copy of Frankenstein. I read this last year, year before. It was fine. This one's a newer one to my collection. Is Skin Food by Type A. This is a recommendation from Rachel over the Shades of Orange. It's set in Korea, which intrigued me. I have Almost Ruth by Tyler Jones. I won this in a giveaway that he did on Twitter. He sent me a signed copy. I haven't read it yet. Dun, 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 dun. I think I'll like it though. I think this is more weird, but the album of Dr. Moreau by Daryl Gregory. It's got this band. It's a rock, like a rock band, or boy band rather. But they're like genetically kind of modified creatures. I don't know. It sounds fun. It sounds fun. I have a copy of Waif by Samantha Kolznick. I ordered it right from her website. She'll send you a signed copy. Haven't read this one either. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I wonder if this gives gothic vibes for Horror Mayhem. I have Parasite by Mira Grant. Is this, what is this, genetically engineered stuff? There's no blurb or no synopsis. Ronald Kelly's Mr. Glowbones and Other Halloween Tales. I read this last year and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And it's got cool like artwork interspersed between the stories. Christopher Triana's A Cold Place for Dying, another Nightworms book that I haven't read yet. Another one of the Thunderstorm, like limited edition. This takes place on Christmas Eve, so maybe I should save this for next Christmas. I think it's a, set in something they get stranded in a snowstorm kind of type of story. Our more kind of recent acquisitions is The Lamb Will Slaughter the Lion by Margaret Killjoy. I think I'm going to read this for more Horror Mayhem too, kind of a folk horror story. Let's see, I've got Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. I haven't read this one yet, but I have read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I enjoy Rebecca a lot. But I still haven't checked out anything else from her. I think this is more of a sort of suspense type story, but I do match. Apocalypse Cow by Michael Logan. I haven't read it yet. Is it a zombie cow, I think? Yeah, I think the cows turn into zombies. It just sounds fun. I haven't read it yet. This is not necessarily horror, but it's on the shelf, is Songbirds and Stray Dogs by Megan Lucas. Again, another giveaway that I won that I haven't read yet. She sent me a copy. I think this is more kind of southern type of story. I've heard it's fantastic. Laird Bairn's The Croning, a sort of cosmic folk type horror that I didn't really like. Itza by Rios de la Luz. It's a witchy book. The Deloriad by Missouri Williams, a book I'm nervous to read. The Forest by Lisa Quigley. I think it's like a folk horror type story. So a lady flees into the forest with her infant son. She must face whatever lurks there. And perhaps most frightening of all, the dark torments of our own mind. Doesn't that sound good? Check it out. Of course, I have The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. I love this book. It's so good. You must have a copy of that on your shelf. I have Geek Love by Catherine Dunn in this atrocious cover. Let's see, another pile here. Ooh, how about like a few Clive Barker in my collection? I don't have very many though. I have Everville. That's a big one. Everett. Mr. B. Gone. Books of Blood, of course. I haven't read any of these. Ugh. Woo. Alrighty. I've got Whisper Down the Lane by Clay McLeod Chapman. You guessed it. Hadn't read it yet. This kind of goes along with the Satanic Panic kind of era. Oh, here's another Clive Barker. I have Wee World too. Another big one. That's a good cover. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. My Haley Piper collection, The Worm and His Kings, a really great cosmic horror story. Her fantastic short story collection, Unfortunate Elements of My Anatomy. Loved this. One I haven't read yet, the last one I think, is Benny Rose, The Cannibal King. And then, of course, Queen of Teeth, which I loved. I love me some Haley. I've got my really cool copy of Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. Found this cool hardcover at a thrift store. Was super excited. Let's grab a stack. I've got Tanya Dycock's Split Tooth. I think this is also kind of maybe folkish horror. Girl grows up in the Nunavut in the 1970s. Dun, 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 dun. Seductive energy of the animal world. I don't know. It sounds really cool. Have you read this? I think I need to read that same thing. I have Sundial by Shirley Jackson. This was a recent Nightworms book. That sounds really cool. I read that though. Some poetry, Cradleland of Parasites by Sarah Tanklinger. Poems about the Black Plague. It's really good. The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle is really good. And a cosmic horror type story. Really good. I really enjoyed that one. Palmetto by Anya Alborn. I've read a few Anya Alborns, but I've not read this one yet. So we got A Baby on the Way. Dun, 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 dun. Get a New House. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, something's off with the house. Sounds fun. Ooh, is it Bugs? I don't know. I've got Things That Got Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. I love this. I know some people didn't, but I did. Let's see. The Cipher, of course, by Kathy Koja. Love this book. Love this cover. Love everything about it. Your Time with the Fun Home. Another Allie C book that I ordered right from her. And if you order right from her website, she'll sign you a copy. I haven't read that yet either. A few more. The Hollow Tree by James Brogdon. Another cool cover. Some about urban legends on here, so that's really all I need to know. The Chrysalis by Brendan Deenan. Tagline here says, "Don't go down in the basement." You gotta tell me twice. Maybe a haunted house type of story. Welcome to the Dark Side of Suburbia. Dun dun dun. That's all. Yeah, I need to get that. Okay, two more. Seasons Creepings, Tales of Holiday Horror by Ronald Kelly, Christmassy type horror stories. They were a lot of fun. I read these last Christmas. And if you order right from Ronald Kelly, he'll sign and doodle for you. I like to order right from Ron also. And lastly, I've got the bind up of the Area X trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer. I'd wanted to read that last year and I never got to it, but I still want to get to it. I still need to get to that one. So that's it. That is the books on this shelf here. Phew! Let me know, are any of these that you've really loved that I haven't read yet, that they're like, girl, you need to read those books? Let me know, because I have so many unread books that I don't always know what I want to read next, Sometimes I have a hard time picking out what I want to read next. I'm a Libra, so I don't make decisions very well. Well, okay, that's a long video. So if you made it this far, leave me a ghost emoji or something. Let me know that you're here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. I so appreciate your time. And until next time. Bye, friends.